Hi, my name's Hyde. I'm here today to talk to you about grading. No, not the kind of grades you used to get in school, but we're talking about the grading around your home. Specifically, the ground that's next to your home. Most people take it for granted, but the ground next to your home is a very important part of your home structure, of your home's lifespan, and of your home's ability to keep water out of the home. We live in a region with a lot of basements, and basements can get water in them, usually from rainwater, typically maybe if there are missing gutters or something like that. Water will come down, it'll come next to the home. At that part, it's important to have the ground, the grade, built up so that there's a slope flowing away from the home. That way, water that comes down flows away from the home. We don't want water to sit next to the home because as that water sinks into the soil, it'll find its own place to go, and that'll most likely be into your basement or crawl space. Also, we never want grading that goes towards a home, a negative grade. That will allow more water to come next to your foundation, which in turn can allow more water into your basement or into your crawl space. But it's not just about water penetration. The soil that's next to your home performs a very important role of carrying the load of your home. The walls come down to your foundation rests on the soil. If you don't keep the soil around your home dry as you can, it will have a much harder time supporting the weight of your home, and you can have real structural implications because of that. Now, we always want to avoid any type of standing water next to a foundation. That will be bad. We always want to keep our gutters and our downspouts clean so that water that does come down and lands on our roof can be channeled away from the structure. And then that grading, that's the important part. This is the part around the house where the ground is built up so that water that comes down moves away. So, what should your grading look like? Quite honestly, we would like to see a 6-inch drop over 6 feet. So if you take a string level, if you'd like, you can measure out 6 feet, put a tape measure here, you should see a 6-inch drop, a nice slope. Basically, a good aggressive slope away from the home over an expanded length. You don't want to have just a very quick drop off. That's not going to do enough to keep water away from your foundation. You want that good 6-foot downward slope. How do you achieve this? Well, if the grading around your house is already insufficient, if it is neutral, or if it is negative, then you need to build it up. You need to bring in dirt. You need to put dirt next to your home. You need to make sure that it is sloped appropriately. Then you can plant some grass so that that dirt has some stability. Average homes need to have this done probably every 5 years, definitely at least every 10 years. It's just part of the natural settlement of the soils around us, and as water comes down, it'll compress those soils even more, and it'll also wash away some of that grading as it runs by. So every 5 to 10 years, you're going to need to reassess the grading around your home and build it up. What's the cost like for grading? That's a great question. Grading is simply dirt and grass. Those things are cheap. Dirt, you can get a lot of dirt for $200. Most of the expense of grading comes in on labor. Who are you going to have spread this dirt, slope it appropriately, and plant the grass? If you'd like to do it yourself, let me tell you, it's a fun day, then you can get the grading corrected around your home very inexpensively. If you contact a local pool company, they may have dirt that they're trying to dispose of. They dig out in-ground pools, they have to do something with that dirt. Sometimes it goes to a landfill, sometimes it goes someplace else. They'd love to transport it as little a distance as possible, so they may like to bring it to your house. So you can talk to landscapers. They would love to come in and do your grading for you. You can talk to topsoil companies. They'll sell you the dirt if you'd like to do it yourself. You could talk to some other excavation companies, maybe pool companies, to see if you can get that dirt for free. But no matter what, it's got to be done. If you have a full foundation, a full basement foundation, and you allow your grading to go neutral or negative, then you will undermine your foundation. You will bow those walls. Water will always find a way and it'll win. If you live in a colder climate, water that sits next to your foundation will freeze and push on your foundation walls. Basement foundation walls are not meant to support a lateral load. They're meant to take a vertical load. They transport the weight of your structure, of your walls in your house and your roof, to the ground. They're not meant to resist the vertical force. So if you allow water to sit on the other side of your wall because of bad grading, then it will push on that wall. We call it hydrostatic pressure. So I hope this gives you a good overview of what grading is, what it should look like, what it costs, and how you can correct it. There are many resources out there online that you can search for, people that will show you how to do the work if you'd like to do it yourself, or you can call a local landscaping professional and they can come in and do it for you. The important part is to know that it has to be corrected. Gotta. And that in our region at least, this is a very common deficiency that we find. I would challenge you to drive through your neighborhood if you live in a neighborhood that's over 5 years old and see how many homes have proper grading around their home. Very few. So it's something that you need to take care of and that you can absolutely handle yourself, or you can hire out if you don't want to spend the weekend of blood, sweat, and tears doing it. So if you have any questions, feel free to write in, and happy home ownership. Thanks a lot.